Negro. No. You the Negro. Now, I know you a member of my family and everything, but if you play with my money, I'm gonna fuck you up from every approach vector. You think I don't try to please you? That's all I do. You don't understand what kind of pressure you put me under.
Me?
You.
You don't have to prove anything to me.
I have to prove everything to you.
What you doing here? You look a mess. You've been drinking again, ain't you, Bunky? Now look at you. Get that mess off your face. What's going on, Bunky?
Tell you what's going on. Lucia's keeping me down. We used to be like brothers, you know what I'm saying? Now he treats me like I'm the butler. Practically raised the kids while you was inside.
Yeah, you right.
Hey, welcome back to another dope episode of On the Scene. Happy Friday, everyone. We're running a little behind schedule, but as always, we're still moving forward. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to our next guest tonight. We have Chicago's own entrepreneur, improv guru, my acting coach, Antoine Mckay. Hey. And his beautiful wife, actress Michelle Pieces. Hey. And my co-host tonight, actor David Leonard. What's up? Happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday and happy birthday, right? Thank you.
Happy
My
birthday.
birthday was 2 days ago.
Wow.
So yeah, man.
Did you have fun? Did you do anything
Yes.
Good.
Yes, and we'll just say yes, I had a lot of fun. I was 2 drinks from messing it up.
That's okay, it's your birthday.
But it was really great, though. It was
Good.
a really great time. Got to see all my kids, which was cool, which was really awesome.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good.
And they were all drunk with me. I'm joking.
That's okay. It's your birthday.
No, it was fun. It was great. Thank you.
Good. So what is going on? How are you?
I'm doing well. There's a lot going on. I'm shooting a great movie right now.
You're always shooting a great movie.
I start South Side.
Yes.
Just had a movie called Fatal Witness come out, which was really a lot of fun. And I have another movie coming out called Roman with Simeon Henderson in it, which is great. Sim. And Dave, you're in that movie.
Yep,
Dave's in that movie too.
Yep.
But it's been a really fun time because it's like you get to that point and you get to that age where it's like, oh man, I do this for a living.
Yeah.
And like you rediscover like just the happiness again. Because because we grind so hard for so many years doing so many different things, and then we get to the point where it's just renewed, and I'm getting to work with my wife all the time, which is really great. We've done 5. We're going on 6 projects together.
Yeah.
No, 7.
Wait, no, we added it up and I don't even.
It's 7. It's 7. We're going on 7 projects together that we've done.
Sweet.
And we've acted together in 4 of those.
Right.
Right. But then you had the other movie come out. I wasn't in it because they didn't want me. That's cool. But it's been a really cool and healthy time, man. Like
Very fun. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's been good.
That's great. So let's back up. How long have you been acting?
Gosh, I got my first paycheck as an actor when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a clown. I was literally a clown. And then, my birthday was a couple days ago, and I was, I'm 52 now.
So let's do math.
That's man, that made me sound like a loser. But you think about that. All of those years, every one of those years, I've gotten at least one check for acting for all of those years. So that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Awesome.
So it's cool.
And I was reading that you were trained by Uta Hagen.
Uta Hagen, yes. Uta Hagen, yes, I was, man.
I have her book, Respect for Acting.
Right.
Dude,
Let me tell you real quick. My first day in class with her, she was like, "How many of you have read Respect for Acting?"
Yeah.
And we were all like, all of us raised our hand, and she was like, "Garbage, read this. Challenge for the actor." We were like, "Oh, man.
Wow.
Come on." So we're all running to Barnes & Noble after class to get her new book. But her first book is like a stream of consciousness, like literally her just talking and then recording it. But the second one is really beautiful because it breaks down like a lot of the history of American theater. And that's really, really super interesting. You know, everybody knows who John Wilkes Booth is, but the Booth family was one of the biggest theater families in America.
Wow.
And a lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like learning about that, and then just the things that she brought to it, and just her ideas. Man, it changed me as an actor, man. It changed me as an actor, like instantly. I learned more in 4 weeks than I did in 4 years of undergrad, man. So yeah, so it was dope, man. It was dope, yeah.
You also did some training at Second City.
Yes,
as well.
yes, yeah. And that's what's really cool, too, because that hybrid education of the classical theater and on-camera training, and then having the improv along with it, it forces itself into a different form of performance. And what's great about that is improv forces you to be in the moment. Obviously, acting does require us to be in the moment, but at the same time, that improv almost freshens the moment when it comes to acting. So it's really cool, man. It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now you started in theater?
I did. Yeah. My first play was I was a teenage Dracula in 8th grade.
Okay.
Yep. And I played the doctor.
Wow.
With my long Jerry curl.
If you guys want to see Jerry curl proof,
Yep.
Yeah.
if you want to see
We do. Absolutely.
Definitely. So which one do you like better?
Which one?
Between theater or film?
Or about the same. That's a good question.
You know what's interesting, and something that I've learned over the past like 5 years or 10 years is like some of our greatest actors, like the Meryl Streeps, the Denzels, the De Niro's, the Viola Davises, they do plays every year.
Yeah.
They do at least one play every year because that's where our chops come from. Like that's where, like you get one take and boom, that's it. And that's what keeps them great, you know. And I hate that I haven't been able to. I'm on hold for a play right now. Purple Rose Theater, if you're listening right now, we're doing a good job. But they do that, and it's really dope because they're constantly working on that momentary perfection.
Yeah.
You know, being in the space and like landing that. So it's cool. It's cool. The game is deep, man, and people don't know that. People don't know how deep the game is when it comes to acting. It's crazy. It's crazy, and people like run up to you and say, "I want to be an actor," and it's like, do you really? Because the game is deep, man. It's deep, yeah. But yeah, that's what.
Michelle, I want to ask you about your background too and how you got started. But I wanted to piggyback real quick off of Maubra's question. You know, Antoine, a lot of actors are not necessarily always skilled at both comedy and drama. You are one of those anomalies who seem to be able to do both. Do you have a preference for one or the other, or do you find one more challenging than the other?
Dude, comedy's hard, man.
Yeah.
comedy's hard because, well, it has to be funny, obviously, and people try to be funny,
Yeah.
but oftentimes, and what I've learned is that your realistic approach to comedy is what makes it funny, because we as humans are hilarious. Like, we see it every day, like, for real. We see somebody walking up the street with one shoe, in a three-piece suit, like, that's comedy right there, dude.
That's true.
But that's the thing that's really hard is trying to find where that lives within the context of the piece you're working on. So, but if I had to choose, honestly, I choose them both, because there's checks with them. No, but I choose them both, man, because I'm doing a movie I'm playing it's a comedy, but I'm playing a serious character within it right now, and then I get to go do Southside on Monday, so I get to clown and go crazy,
Right.
and then it's like
Uncle Spike.
but you're right. But then it's like having to bounce back and forth between those is so hard.
Yeah.
Because your mind is set on this thing, and you guys all know what I'm talking about. Like, your mind is set on this thing that you're working on, and you're like, I gotta stay in this place. And we all go out, we live our lives while we're doing this thing that we're working on, but we're still in it. We have it on.
Yeah.
You know, and then we gotta go do something completely different. And it's like, oh my gosh, okay, cool. Like, I read the Southside script last night. Dude, I was cracking up, and I'm like, I have got to break out of this person that I've been for the last 4 weeks and do this. And it's like, man, I gotta come with it. But yeah, but that's the math, man. I love them both, man.
Michelle, how did you get your start in acting?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so back in, I think, middle school too, but I wasn't, we went to school together, and then I moved.
And I was like, come back, baby, come back.
But I was in, like, I think Cinderella in 8th grade in Okemos, which is near East Lansing in Michigan. And then came back down to Wayne, and we were in forensics together.
This
we
is
were
competitive
in
speech and debate, not
Yes,
anything
we
to do with
didn't cut out
bodies.
dead bodies or anything like that. But, and just, I'm going to do a little shout out for us. Our senior year, we were in a multiple together that did E. Cummings poetry, and we took first in the state for that. So that's our little.
Yes.
And we were both in Pippin the musical together. And I was the grandma. I have a picture of us both on stage together at the same time too. It's kind of cool. It's in our dining room. So I was in theater in high school. I was also in dance in high school. We were also in choir together. Vocal Dimensions, which was like a. So we were in Vocal Dimensions, which also is like a dancing performance choir. Like, we traveled around to different places and did that in high school. And then after high school, I went to Wayne State the first year as a theater major, and then auditioned for the dance department, not just for audition experience, made it, and was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go over here. And I finished up with a dance education degree at Wayne State.
Nice.
And then went immediately into special education and worked.
Because dance and special education are very much the
You have
same.
to dance around your students, I guess.
Right.
And then I was a special ed teacher. I worked with kids who have autism for about 20 years. And then it was time to kind of like, he and I reconnected. Talk
Sorry.
about the mic picking stuff up. That was musical, baby.
That was me, baby. That was all me.
So, he and I reconnecting is what brought me back into the acting world. It wasn't really in my realm of this is where I'm heading at all until he and I reconnected.
Okay.
And then it's like I started doing scenes and different little pieces, and then I got that movie that he wasn't even in. It's a horror movie, so I got to do a movie scream, a horror scream. It's kind of fun. And so it's just been a slow walk back into it, but it's exciting. Like, I did a workshop February
2018. 2019?
2019.
Yeah.
He was doing No, it was 2020, it was before everything was.
That's right, you're right, you're
You know,
absolutely right.
whatever happened. But it was in a theater place in Ferndale in Michigan. And I did the workshop, stepped up on stage, and this was the first time I had to memorize a monologue in like 20, 30 years
Oh,
even
wow.
really, but it was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I missed this. It was so much fun. So I'm like ecstatic and super excited to be back in this.
What's hilarious about this too is she's not telling you this because she's being really super modest. The first 4 jobs she auditioned for, she booked.
Alright.
She was just like, pow, pow, pow. I was like, the sugar mama. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. Come on.
Now let me ask you this: How do you two balance marriage and also collaborating, together on different projects?
I would honestly say, I personally think it's the yes and theory. It's
Totally.
It's like,
Totally.
what do you want to do? Yes we can. Let's do it. Go. Let's just jump out of the plane. And
But sometimes you have to kind of pause and go, okay, how can we tweak this so that X, Y, and Z work better?
Yeah.
So you're not saying no, you're just like, we're yes-anding, but we have to make sure that we are approaching it in the right way. And
But see, we're already out of the plane.
okay, you're right. Okay. I'll keep on that analogy with you.
We're already out of the plane. Like, hey, how's this gonna work? Okay, before we hit the ground, let's do this.
Hold this board.
Yeah, it's
But-
cool.
But it's the beautiful thing is we balance well. Because I have a skill set, that works well with where
The
the skill
chaos
set
that I am.
is not as much.
She just told on me right out loud. She was like, his skill set does not balance as much. Dude, you made me say
Happy wife, happy life.
Dude, you're not kidding. Like, I told her a week ago, I was like, baby, because we run a church also, back in Michigan, and I was about to do the sermon and stuff, and I was walking to the pulpit, and she stopped me and she was like, come here, and she went to the bathroom and got some paper towel, and I had like red Kool-Aid on it, and she wiped it off. She was like, all right, go ahead, baby. I'm like, dude, that is only one example of like, I would be in a ditch somewhere, like, for real.
But he's got this big crazy energy that he is so funny and so hilarious.
Yeah.
And sometimes like, okay, come here.
Don't start a fire.
Right.
No, but what it really is, it comes down to respect. And Dave, you've been married for 17 years.
Yep.
Yep. And that takes a substantial amount of character in order to maintain that. And the depths of that, a lot of people don't even understand or couldn't even fathom.
Yeah.
But it comes back down to like really like just relinquishing your own agenda. Like for real, and like going and listening to that person who sees your blind spots.
Yeah.
And we fail
Yeah.
at times.
Yeah.
I'm telling on myself right now again.
Well, it
I
goes
have
both ways,
failed.
though. It goes both ways.
But it's just like it's having that person in your ear going, hey, think about this. Hey, think about that. Let's think about this collectively, and then we just try to make it work.
You know what? I think there is a benefit to the fact that I haven't been in the business for this long, so I'm seeing things with a different eye.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So I'm like learning everything, and I'm asking questions. I feel like I'm back in school, basically. I'm learning as much as I can, because we also started a production company too. So it's like learning all
So
of
we
it.
like alcohol and sleep.
We don't get much of the sleep, but it's just that learning curve thing. You're learning everything, and then I don't know. It's exciting.
Yeah.
After 20 years in the classroom, I was so ready for something new. I just hadn't realized this is what it was gonna be.
And you have another passion too, where you like repurpose, I think, windows and stained glass.
And Maubra introduced me from my business name. My business name is Michelle's Pieces.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of a nice little shout out there. What it is I do stained glass mosaics.
Okay.
So
Nice. Yes.
yeah, and I like to use windows. I also have workshops where I teach people how to do it. So I repurpose 8x10 picture frames.
Wow.
And then I have hundreds of templates, and I teach you how to cut the glass and glue it down, and then, grout it and everything, so.
It's gotta be like very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Definitely.
it so is. I have
How
this
long,
whole,
how long does it take to do like, let's say you're doing like a general
Like a
size
big window?
Yeah.
it depends, it depends on, how much time I'm actually able to spend on it, but
Yeah.
if I'm focused, I could get it done in like a day or two,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so.
Very cool.
Amazing.
Guys, this has been
Fun.
wonderful.
I have to backtrack just quick.
Incredibly therapeutic.
I have to backtrack real quick. I want to congratulate you, Fatal Witness. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Now that was a big difference in your role, because I'm so used to the comedic.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
But I love the drama too, man.
It was like I had no clue. I had no clue.
I love it because I'm hard, mother.
Yeah. That was like another side. I was like, oh.
Dude, okay, so the one scene with the couch and everything,
Mhm.
like we're shooting that, and he's so intense, and he's like, ooh, and all that stuff, and the cut, and he's
it.
like, ah, and it's like his face completely changes. He looks like a totally different person.
It was amazing.
Thank you so much.
It was a
Thank
very
you.
good movie.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. It was fun to do.
It was nice to see you in a whole different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Maubra.
I'm glad you scared you.
Thank you.
Right?
I did my job.
Yes. I was like, oh, Antoine. Yes. All right. So, both of you, give me your top 3 actors, directors that you guys would want to work with.
Oh man.
Go first.
Okay, Denzel, easy.
Yes.
That's hands down.
Yes.
I want to work with Elizabeth Moss.
Okay.
Oh yes.
She's terrific. I think she's doing the best acting on TV that there is right now.
Okay.
And I want to work with.
Maubra Foster. Oh, sorry. I took the thought.
Harry Belafonte or James Earl Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they bring the depth of the intellectual to it that's like you're scared to be around them. And then director-wise, Spielberg obviously.
Yes.
I got to work with John Singleton briefly, which I was really sad about that. He passed. Yeah. But I was so close. So close. I want to work with Spike, man.
Yeah.
I want to work with Spike so bad, and I want to work with I would like to work with director Maubra Foster. Trick, Maubra Foster. While she's working with Jordan Peele.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I knew Jordan. Me and Jordan improvised together when we were here. When I first got to Chicago.
Get out of here.
Joe, dude, for real. And then bro was like, Antoine, enjoy your time on the main stage at Second City. I'm gonna go win an Oscar. Dude,
Wow.
bro is like he's writing some of the greatest
Yes.
stuff. Like in the past 10 years, like you think about Get Out, you think about OG with Tracy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like he's written some unbelievable. Then he took over Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Yeah.
And then killed it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
bro. Jordan Peele's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
He is. He is. All right, Michelle, your turn.
Oh my.
Who you
Okay,
got?
so I got Tina Fey. That's
Okay.
why I love to work with Tina Fey. You took Elizabeth Moss.
That's okay. That's okay.
And I'm thinking director wise. You got to work with him already.
Who?
Steve Conrad.
Steve
I
Conrad.
would love to work with
Yo,
I
Steve
love
Conrad.
Patriots.
Steve Conrad is 3A.
Yeah.
Easy,
Yeah.
easy.
Okay. I don't fangirl very often, but I fangirled when he ran into Steve's brother Chris, who he did Patriot with,
Yeah, I was just about
at
to
the
say,
Starbucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he comes walking up to the car and like, guess who this is? And I was like, oh my god! I love Patriot.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah,
who was on Patriot came over to the car, I would have been like, ah!
That was
like
a sleeper
totally
show.
fangirl.
Yeah.
Dude, it was.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
it really
phenomenal.
was.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So,
Okay.
those are my answers.
Alright. What advice, I want one from each of you guys, would you give to any upcoming actors, actresses?
Okay. Well, see, and this is the same advice I'd give to somebody if they wanted to do any sort of artwork.
Okay.
Play.
Mhm.
Play with it. Do as much as you can and play with it.
Okay.
Like this is something I tell all my classes, and this is something my brother told me. My brother's an actor in New York. He only does theater. He's like, Antoine, I have no time for just theater. He's like, I have to do just theater, Antoine. Just theater. That's my brother. And he's a genius, and he's like one of those people that you hear that sings, and it's beautiful. But he told me, what is the one thing that you're doing every day to make yourself a better actor? Like, are you sleeping? Are you going to the gym? No. Are you eating well? Are you going to have that meal? Are you going to hang out with friends? Are you going to kick in on a radio show? I mean, what is that one thing that you're doing every day to just make you better? I mean, are you spending time with your family? Or, you know, like, it's those things. It's amazing. It's amazing. And he's like, he's helped me change my career. Like, for real. Yeah.
Okay. Gems, y'all. Alright, so how can people reach you guys?
Oh.
I'm
Social
at
media.
Mr. Antoine Mckay on Instagram, Antoine Mckay on Facebook. I know nobody uses Facebook anymore.
Well, you gotta check out his TikTok too.
And my TikTok is at Antoine Mckay. I have 15,000 followers.
Ooh.
I know that means nothing.
Yes, it does. What are you talking
Like
about?
my daughter has 15,000 followers. But seriously, yeah, those are my three handles. Yeah, check them out.
That's fun. I have Facebook. My business account is Michelle's Pieces. I have Artie at Home Workshop on TikTok. Artie at Home Workshop on Facebook as well. I have a page, and we also have Sheltwan Productions. We have a page on Facebook. We have a TikTok, but we haven't done a whole lot of
No,
that.
we
It's
haven't.
on Instagram. You know, you try to hit all the socials, and then you kind of like.
Yep.
And then you realize you're 50.
True story, totally.
It's like, do we want to do a
Yeah.
TikTok or do we want to have a whiskey?
You guys also have acting classes and
Yes.
workshops.
Oh yes, through Sheltwan Productions, we have Sheltwan Performance Studies, and you can go on a website, which I update, but I think we're gonna switch up but we're still good, but you can still go to it, sheltwanproductions.com.
.com, yeah, and we teach a class that's called Uda for the Camera, and all the stuff I learned from her, I put into, because she was a theatrical teacher, for the most part, she's acted on film and everything, but I've taken the concepts that she's taught me and put them into an on-camera class, and so now you get to use your chops, but then go from there.
And it's a hybrid class,
Yeah.
so if you're in the Southeast Michigan area, we are home in there, then you can go join
Okay,
us
good.
live, otherwise you can join us through Zoom.
Yeah, and which is cool. Okay.
Okay.
And but just like speaking to that just real quick, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Your producer's gonna kill me. She was like, shut up.
Cue the Oscar award.
Antoine.
My girl is back there like, she is playing the timpani, the viola, the cello. She is like, let's go. I'm so sorry. And it's the viola. And if you played viola, you would probably get arrested. But we do a hybrid class, which is really cool. And you know, we got students from, we have during our class, our last term, our session, we had students from Arizona, Atlanta, Chicago, and Michigan all
Nice.
on.
Wow.
And
Nice.
it was really cool, man.
It works.
Just to see all those people rocking it out together and people meeting people they've never met, you know, like we do every day. But yeah, it's really dope, man, and we have a lot of fun, and it's a healthy environment, because we want that to be, you know, first and foremost. But a safe place to learn. That's really good. So
Awesome.
I'm sorry, produced Madam Producer.
Where you guys go?
You had an appointment at 8.
That's over.
Gifts for you guys. I know these aren't the right size, but you'll get your
Oh,
prize.
that's so cool.
That is for
Thanks,
you.
Maubra.
You're welcome, Antoine. That's for you. Okay, I only have one mask, though. The lady gets it.
Okay.
Oh, isn't this mine?
Yeah,
Isn't that mine?
No, I got the glitter.
You got the
You
bedazzle?
got
You
got
get the
Oh, this is awesome. Thank
metallic,
you, Maubra.
You're welcome.
very pretty on the scene.
Maubra, I'm gonna explode this shirt.
I'll get you the.
My stomach is gonna be like, oh no, Negro, come on.
We congratulate you guys. We salute you.
Dude, my stomach is gonna turn this purple blue.
It's gonna be a tent.
Next incredible up.
Oh my god.
The producer, I am so sorry, producer. She is like, when you get off that mic, I'm busting you. For real.
Oh my god, but definitely, you know, congratulations. And you guys gotta make sure you guys come back and follow up again soon, okay? This is how it was in all of his classes, you guys. Always
Oh my gosh. Love, always.
Oh gosh. Oh god. Okay, y'all. That's another great episode of On the Scene. We are out of here.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace. Look, I'm trying to protect you. 1 second, I'm gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna go outside this house. I ain't going nowhere.
All your other baby mamas, gone.
Listen here. You ever wonder why they call me Poochie? That's the name of the guy that killed my mama. Real cool, easy going.
Because I want my husband all to myself and not sharing him with half of the women in the city?
It ain't half.
And never asking for a dime.
I'm asking for it.
Oh?
Yes, I'm here to collect.
You know, Val, I wish I could have